go live, it just kept like loading, like it couldn't connect. And it was just saying going live, and just spinning. So my bad. My bad. Shout out to all of the replay viewers that are going to come in. Today we're talking about toxic mothers. Toxic mothers. So if your mama toxic, if your mama toxic, what's up, Candace? I don't know. It's not letting me. It's showing me that nobody's on YouTube. Don't know why I'm saying that, but if y'all could just keep engaging in the chat so I'll know. Thank you, Candace, because it's showing me nobody is on for some reason. All right, so today we're talking about toxic mothers. Candace, let me know if my mic is working good. Can you hear me good? All right, TikTok, I may stay on here the whole time. I may not. It all depends because TikTok be tripping. So, all right, if you know your mama is toxic, you need to be here. If you're battling and you don't want to, you really don't want to admit it, like you know it, but you don't want to admit it, you need to be in this live today. Send this to somebody, share this with somebody. If you know your homegirl mama toxic, be like, girl, you need to come watch this live. Let me see if I can put it closer together. All right. So if you have ever whispered, I hate my mom, and then felt guilty, this live is for you. Okay? Toxic mothers exist. Toxic mothers exist. And pretending that they don't, that isn't going to help heal your wound. Okay? This is not a black issue. Now, I am black, obviously. Okay, so I'm going to be talking about my experience, but it's not just a black issue. When I did the free webinar, what was that? Maybe back in March or something, about surviving toxic mothers, people that reached out to me was not just black people. I'm talking about in my inbox. For those that think it's just a black issue, I had other ethnicities in my inbox saying, oh my God, you're describing my mother. I had people that told me I was describing their father. They were asking me if I had anything, any resources regarding toxic fathers. I was like, no. I had people tell me I was describing both of their parents. And guess what? It wasn't just men, it wasn't just women. I had men reaching out to me. Men were in my inbox. Thank you for the follow on TikTok. I had men in my inbox thanking me for what I was doing. Say, they were telling me, I'm glad you're speaking out. Don't forget to hit the like button on YouTube, please. It pushes it out. If you're on TikTok, if you can just tap my face every now and then. But I had men who were not in my inbox trying to holler at me. They were literally like, this is what I've been through, sharing their stories, thanking me. Some of them were adopted or they grew up in foster care, and they were thanking me for speaking out. They were telling me how much what I'm doing is needed. Men. Now, y'all know when men start opening up. So this is not just a black issue. It's not just an issue amongst women, okay? It's all of the things. All right. So this is a real thing. Today I'm going to expose the patterns. I'm going to talk about how toxic mothers affect you as an adult, and I'm going to give you some practical strategies if you are someone who is trying to heal from a toxic mother. All right. So if you're just joining, welcome in. My name is Renisha. I'm an inner healing and breakthrough coach. Okay. I help high achieving women and some men heal from invisible wounds, the things that you cannot see. Today's live, we're talking about how to survive a toxic mother without losing your mind. Because some of y'all be feeling like y'all going crazy. Again, share this out. Y'all know I am testing out different times every week. I'm trying to figure out the best time to go live for my audience. So we're doing afternoons and evenings this week. I'm gonna jump straight into it. What makes a mother toxic? If you are able to take notes, please do that. If you are at work and you cannot take notes, please make sure you catch the replay on my YouTube. Ooh, I wasn't supposed to say that on TikTok, on my YT channel. All right, if you're not able to take notes. What makes a mother toxic? A toxic mother Oh, awesome. Me too. I can't see your name, but I'm glad you caught it too. A toxic mother isn't just, it's not the same thing as an imperfect mother, okay? Let me make that clear. Nobody is perfect. We know that. Somebody on TikTok says, my mom was this way and still is. Mine too. Blink, blink, blink. Okay? Nobody is perfect. No mother is perfect. But when we're talking about being toxic, it's about patterns that consistently wound you and control you. So I'm going to give you some different patterns that you normally see in toxic mothers. Okay? One, manipulation. Toxic mothers, you're going to see manipulation. They're going to use guilt, they're going to use a silent treatment or just threats in order to control your choices. Thank you for liking, thank you for tapping the screen on TikTok. Manipulation, you're going to see that in a toxic mother. Also, you're going to see control. They're going to try to make your life decisions for you, even as an adult. They have to be in control. Another pattern you'll see in a toxic mother is neglect. They're going to ignore your emotional needs and they're going to invalidate your pain. Some of you saw this in childhood. Some of it may have come up in adulthood. Okay. Some of you may be the toxic mother. If you know you're the toxic mother, don't say anything. Just sit here and listen because you don't want 10, 15, 20 years from now, you don't want your child having to sign up for my class or somebody else's class to heal from you. So if you're toxic, just sit here. You don't have to admit it. Okay. Another thing you're going to see in a toxic mother is emotional abuse. They're going to be emotionally abusive. They're going to criticize you for every little thing. They're going to compare you, whether it's to your siblings, your cousins, or other people they know. They're going to compare you to other people and they're going to constantly try to tear you down. So these are the patterns that show up in toxic mothers: manipulation, control, neglect, and emotional abuse. Also, in a toxic mother, they're going to have some narcissistic traits. Okay? They're going to guilt trip you for setting boundaries because you're the problem. Okay? So it doesn't matter how much you're trying to protect your mental and emotional health. The toxic mother is going to make it all about her. The toxic narcissistic mother is going to make it all about her. Okay? Also, if your toxic mother is a narcissist, she's going to be dismissing your needs. She's going to say, oh, you're just selfish. You're dramatic. She's going to say things like, you think the world revolves around you. You think it's all about you. Okay? Also, another narcissistic trait, they're going to make everything about their struggles. So your mother, she's going to make everything about her struggles, her sacrifices, her feelings. She may say, talk about how she had to sacrifice all this when you were a child. Or if she's like my mother, she's going to remind you how much she could have. I can't say the A word, I don't think, on TikTok, but she's going to mention how much she could have ended the pregnancy. First of all, how do you think that's going to work with me? The doctor kept telling you for 7 years you couldn't have kids. You was praying and begging for me. So turning around saying I could have A word you down, girl, bye. Okay? But this is a narcissistic trait. So having a toxic mother, it doesn't mean she doesn't love you, right? But her wounds still wounded you. Okay? Hurt people hurt people. That's a real thing. Thank you so much for whoever is tapping the screen. Thank you on TikTok. I love you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay? Hurt people hurt people. So yeah, okay, she loves me. That has nothing to do with the fact that she wounded me. It has nothing to do with the fact that she wounded you. Okay? Just because your mother is broken, thank you for hitting the like button on YouTube. Just because your mother is broken does not mean you should allow her to break you. Do you understand? Okay. And I'm telling you, people will try to tell you, well, you know, your mom loves you and she's just X, Y, and Z. You was about to text me. You know, your mom loves you and she's just X, Y, and Z. People will tell you all of this stuff. They will give you a whole speech. And if you are weak minded and gullible, you're going to allow people, you're going to let people convince you to stay in this toxic cycle. Don't do it. Please don't do it. Okay. Yes, she may love you, but she's still hurting you. And you have to admit that. Okay. Don't allow people to make you think that because your mother is broken, you're supposed to give her a permission slip to break you at will. It does not work like that. And I know a lot of people have a hard time processing that, especially if you grew up in the Black church. Honor thy father and thy mother. Okay. We're going to get there. Some of you that have toxic mothers, you may go to them or you may have gone to them like, hey, I'm overwhelmed. I hope this doesn't get overheated. Hold on, y'all. You may go to them like, okay, I'm overwhelmed. And instead of listening, she'll say, you think you have it bad. When I was your age, y'all know I'll be distracted by these comments. When I was your age, blah, blah, blah. They weren't, ma'am, it is not about you right now. I'm trying to open up to you. Okay. That's not support. It's dismissal. That happened to me a couple of weeks ago. My mom was bringing up something about when I was probably in my mid-20s. She came to my apartment one time and it was a mess. I used to deal with depression really, 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 really bad. My apartment was a mess. She brings it up a couple of weeks ago. I still got those pictures from when your apartment. I was like, who cares? I was depressed. You didn't even know I wanted to unalive myself. And you think I care about an apartment being a mess? Y'all, when I tell you she did not care, she was so dismissive. I was like, this is so sad. Somebody on YouTube said, I want to get out of that toxic cycle. I haven't seen my mom in 5 months. So much freedom. Baby, I love this for you. Stay on this live, honey. I love this for you. Before I went live, I had someone on TikTok that told me they just cut their mother off and went no contact. I love it. They do skip the B clause of that scripture. Don't provoke your children, period. You're welcome, honey. Baby, I love this for you. Okay. I love that for you. So let me reset the room really quick. If you're just joining, my name is Renisha. I am your inner healing coach. Today, we're talking about how to survive toxic mothers without losing your mind. Okay. So I help high achieving women heal internal wounds, the wounds that nobody can see. She looks pretty and polished on the outside, but she is crumbling on the inside. That's who I help. Okay. And talking about toxic mothers, we're not here to shame anybody, but I'm trying to expose the patterns so that you can finally heal and so that your child doesn't have to heal from you 10, 15, 20 minutes, 20 years later. Okay, if you know somebody that needs this, share this with them. I don't know who is on TikTok tapping the screen, but I love you. If you want, you can let your finger rest because y'all are tapping away. Thank you. On YouTube, please hit the like button. It pushes the video out in the algorithm. Okay. Now we're going to talk about the hidden wounds of toxic mothers. Again, if you're at work and can't take notes, watch the replay on my YT channel whenever you can so you can go back and take notes. What are the hidden wounds of having a toxic mother? Because the pain doesn't stop just because you left her house. It travels with you. Okay? I know that's right, Candace. One hidden wound, the lack of identity. You're going to battle with second guessing yourself if you had a toxic mother, okay? Some of you grew up, you were silenced as a child. So you learned Yeah, you learned. You learned to doubt your own voice. So you second guess everything. Okay? Even simple decisions, what to wear, who to date, what career field should I be pursuing. Simple stuff is extremely overwhelming for you because you were silenced. All right. So there's a lack of identity. You weren't raised to trust yourself. You were raised to obey your mother. So this is why you're second guessing. That's one hidden room. Another one, people pleasing. Mariah said, yes, wow. Another hidden wound, people pleasing. You struggle with this because you never feel good enough. You're chasing approval, even if you do not realize it. You are chasing approval in relationships, in careers, in friendships, etc. No matter how much you accomplish, you have all of these degrees, all of these trades, all of these certificates, doctor is in front of your name, and you still feel inadequate because you're ignoring the real issue. You're battling with people pleasing. Okay? Your mother's voice has become the inner critic that's still whispering and telling you that you're not enough. Sorry, I had to pat my weave. I don't have any weave in my hair. I'm joking. Okay? So people pleasing is another one. Here's another one. The fear of motherhood. You have a fear of motherhood because you don't want to repeat the cycle. You don't want to become your mother. I told God many years ago, if I am going to end up treating my children the way my mother treats me, don't ever give them to me. Do not trust me with them. Because I know a lot of times people end up becoming what they despise. Okay. So for some of you, there's a fear of motherhood because you're afraid you're going to repeat the cycle. Many women, you dread becoming mothers because you think you're going to turn into your mother. I've even seen people, and we're not talking about this today, who have left abusive churches and then became the pastors that they left. Now you're an abusive pastor. All right. Some people even overcompensate. So you have kids, but now you're overcompensating and you don't discipline your kids. Your kids are running all over you because in your mind you're thinking about how your mother treated you. So now you don't want to discipline your kids at all, and they're running over you. Okay, so that's another thing some people do. If you don't avoid kids altogether, you're just not going to discipline them and let them run all over you. You have to understand that unhealed wounds make you fear passing down the very pain you swore to end. Baby girl, baby boy, you got to heal. Okay? So we're talking about the hidden wounds of toxic mothers. I gave you the lack of identity. You're always second guessing yourself. People pleasing. You never feel good enough. You have a fear of motherhood because you're afraid you're going to repeat her cycle. And then you're dealing with emotional exhaustion from carrying family secrets. Let's talk about it. Toxic mothers often demand silence. What happens in this house stays in this house. So now you're carrying this burden, you're carrying this weight because nobody can know what I'm going through, and you bring this emotional weight into adulthood. Some weeks ago, I had to block family members going off on my phone. I'm getting threats. They found out about one video I posted, didn't even see the video. They heard about it. First of all, you're not going to threaten me. Now, y'all, you're not, I don't care who you are, you're not going to threaten me. So I'm getting threats. Had an uncle, one of my uncles cussed out his daughter over a video I made. So I just went on a blocking spree because why not? Right. But one thing about it is I know God told me to start the Surviving Toxic Mother series. And I started experiencing levels of freedom just by telling my story. And then to have men and women of different ethnicities come back telling me, hey, you're describing my mother. I'm helping other people heal. Not only am I healing, but I'm helping other people heal. You're not going to silence me. But some of you, you're carrying that emotional exhaustion because you're trying to hide the family secrets. You learn to smile in public while suffocating in private. I remember being in my early 20s talking to someone who attended the church I grew up in. She was older than me. Her mother used to teach me, one of my favorite teachers. One day, me and this woman start talking, and we realize our mothers are the same. She was like, Renisha, have you ever tried going to Bishop? I was like, for what? Nobody's going to believe me. Heck, I had stories about him, the pastor, that you didn't know about. Okay? So you have to learn how to release this. The mother wound, it doesn't just break your childhood, it follows you into womanhood, whether you want to admit it or not. I used to be the same way. This doesn't bother me. I'm just going to suppress it, suppress it, suppress it, suppress it, not deal with it. I don't care. Baby, it's going to affect you. It's going to show up in relationships. Amen, Mariah. It's going to show up in relationships, friendships. It is going to show up. I am telling you, you might as well deal with it. The best thing I could have done was to go to therapy. Thank God my church in Chicago had different departments and we had a counseling department. The best thing I could have done was to go to therapy and just start talking about it. Okay. So let me reset the room really quick. My name is Renisha. If you're just coming in, I am an inner healing and breakthrough coach. Today, we're exposing the hidden wounds regarding toxic mothers and their daughters or sons, because I do have some men that follow me. Okay, if this is hitting you, you can type reset in the comments. Don't just watch, engage with me. TikTok, thank y'all so much for tapping the screen. I love y'all. And thank you on YouTube for hitting the like button. Exactly, Candace. So I'm like, you're not going to shut me up. All right, let's talk about how to survive. How to survive a toxic mother without losing your mind. And if you can, stay to the end because y'all know I got declarations for y'all. I'm gonna try to add declarations in all of my lives from now on. Let's talk about how to survive without losing your mind. There have been multiple times where I wanted to unalive myself because of how my mother treated me. Multiple times. Grew up in the church. She heavy in the church. What's up, Cece? Hey, Cece. Okay? It will make you feel like you're going crazy. Period. Survival isn't just about cutting your mother off. Mariah says, same here. Listen, it's not just about cutting your mother off cold turkey. It's about protecting your peace and refusing to let her dysfunction define you. So, how do you survive without losing your mind? Number one, set boundaries. Type boundaries in the chat. Some of y'all need to learn how to set boundaries, even outside of your mother. You just need to set boundaries, period. You don't have any boundaries. You just let people do whatever they want to do, whenever they want to do it. You need to learn how to set boundaries, okay? Even if your mother ignores them, you need to set boundaries. The boundaries are not about controlling her behavior, they're about managing your access and your energy. Some of y'all know it's like, I don't have the energy, I don't have the capacity to deal with that today. Some of y'all know that, but y'all still don't enforce your boundaries. Set the boundary, boo. Here's an example. Mom, I don't want to discuss my finances with you. If she keeps bringing it up, you exit the conversation. If you're on the phone, hang up, click. I have to go. Click. If you got to walk out, drive away, whatever you have to do. Okay? You need to work on setting boundaries. Another way to survive this without losing your mind, you're going to have to detach from guilt. Loving God does not mean enduring abuse. Let me say it again. Loving God does not mean enduring abuse. Many daughters of toxic mothers feel guilty when they try to create distance. Honoring your mother does not mean sacrificing your mental health. Make a note of that for those that have mothers that like to say, well, the Bible says honor thy father and thy mother. Yeah, but he didn't say that I had to be abused. Baby, honoring, and some of y'all take a deep breath. I want you to be able to handle what I'm about to say. For some of you, honoring your mother may show up as you not punching her in the face, although she's constantly trying to provoke you. And you may think it's crazy, but listen, fighting parents is a real thing. I learned that when I moved to Chicago. I didn't know. So many people fight their parents. They fought. I didn't know that until I moved to Chicago. That's a real thing. There are people out here Calm down. I cannot with you. Okay? So don't let your mother make you think that because you're creating distance and setting boundaries, you're being dishonorable. Boo, that's a lie. Okay? God never called you to confuse honor with bondage. And there are people who deal with all forms of abuse, not just from their mother, they deal with all kinds of abuse in the name of Jesus. Okay? And what you don't understand, and I talked about this, I was on Pink's Live on TikTok this past Sunday, and I told them the same thing. Some of you, the reason why you tolerate abuse the way you do, not just from your mother, is because the church has groomed you to accept abuse. Now you can just go argue with somebody else. I'm telling you what I know. The church has groomed you to accept abuse. That is not okay. All right. So we're talking about how to survive without losing your mind. Number one, you need to set a boundary, set boundaries. Number two, detach from guilt. Loving God does not mean you have to deal with your mother's bullcrap. Three, you have to stop seeking her validation. Stop seeking her validation. This may be extremely hard for some of you. You're going to have to release the craving for her approval. There are people in their 60s, their 70s, their 80s. Okay, maybe not 80s because their mama might not be living anymore, but there are people grown, I'm talking about grown, still craving their parents' approval. I'm going to do a separate, I don't know if I'm just going to be alive, probably just a reel talking about how women, how they just, some women just tear men down and say, you acting like a little boy, and you don't realize because of stuff that happened in his childhood, he is a little boy, mentally and emotionally, but that's a whole nother. There are adults walking around here still craving their parents' approval. Baby, you got to let it go. Stop seeking your mother's validation, okay? You land a new job, she criticizes your salary. You get in a relationship with a good man. And that's another thing I realized. My mother hated when I was with men who treated me well. And this is stuff I realized after the fact. She hated it. Yes, your mother can be jealous of you. Whoever needs that, okay? So you're going to have to stop looking for her validation in order to confirm your worth. You have to know who you are outside of that, outside of her validation, all right? Validation is sweet, but when you're talking about survival, you're going to learn that you do not need your mother's validation in order for you to thrive. Go be great, boo. Another thing you need to do in order to survive this without losing your mind, you need community. You need safe community. You don't need to link up with people who trigger you. You need safe community. And I know a lot of times we use terms incorrectly. Trauma bond, trauma bond, trauma bond. A lot of times people use that term. You don't even know what you're talking about. That's not a trauma bond, okay? A trauma bond is when you have bonded to your abuser. If I get with a man who's like my mother, that is not a trauma bond. All right? You're using it incorrectly, but you need to find safe community. Healing happens when you surround yourself with safe voices. So it can be mentors. This can be business mentors, career mentors, leadership mentors, etc. You need to have friends who are safe. You need spiritual mentors who are safe. A spiritual mentor is going to help you with your spiritual growth, your character development, prayer, how to hear God, all of that stuff. You need safe community. Even if you are a person who chooses to go to church, you need a safe ministry. Because another thing I see is that a lot of people who are wounded end up going to churches where the pastors traumatize them all over. And it's because the broken part of them was drawn to that ministry. So make sure you find a safe community. You cannot survive if the only voice you hear is your mama's. That's the only voice you hear in your ear, your mother's. You can't survive like that. You cannot heal like that, okay? So you're going to have to find community that affirms your freedom. Thank you, TikTok. TikTok, I'm at 18,000 likes. Thank you so much. You need a community that affirms your freedom, not just a bunch of people who are going to try to convince you that you're wrong and you don't need to be setting boundaries with your mother, and this is your mother and she had you and you don't need to be doing this and you don't need to be doing that. Not people that's gonna keep you in the cycle of abuse. Okay, you need safe community. Please know when we're talking about surviving your toxic mother, I'm not telling you to hate your mama. It's not about that, okay? It means refusing to lose yourself in the midst of her dysfunction. A quick reset. My name is Renisha. I'm your inner healing coach. We're almost done, I promise you. Today we're talking about how to survive a toxic mother without losing your mind, without losing yourself. If you know somebody that needs this, please share it with them, whether you're on TikTok, YouTube, send it to their shoot them a text, whatever you got to do. Okay. I'm going to give you 5 steps. I'm going to give you 5 steps to healing the mother wound. All right. If you're ready, say ready in the chat. I know some of you are at work and you don't have to catch the replay. That's fine. 5 steps to heal the mother wound. Number 1, you have to acknowledge the wound. Stop pretending like it doesn't exist. You have to acknowledge it. Stop minimizing it. Stop allowing other people, your family members, your friends, your pastors, don't let them make you minimize this thing. Okay, you have to acknowledge the wound. Healing begins with honesty. You cannot heal what you keep excusing. There are people, seen it a lot in females. You're so nurturing that you find every excuse in the book as to why your mother acts the way she does. You're trying to cover her. You have to acknowledge it, okay? She did the best she could. These requests on TikTok. She did the best she could when raising you. Okay, that might be true, but it doesn't erase the fact that she hurt you. Okay? Yes, she's broken, but the reason why she raised you the way she did is because she didn't take the time to heal. It is your responsibility to heal. I don't care what people did to you. All right? So if you know you struggle with this, you struggle with acknowledging the wound, repeat after me. Yes, my mother wounded me. Just say that one line. Yes, my mother wounded me. TikTok, your fingers have got to be hurting. Thank you so much. All right, so number 1, acknowledge the wound. Number 2, you're going to have to grieve what you didn't receive. Many people skip grief because it feels dramatic or ungrateful. Grief makes space for healing. If you want to heal, you have to learn how to grieve, okay? So you're going to have to grieve the hugs you never got, grieve the validation that you never heard, grieve the safety that you never felt. You are not weak for grieving. You're wise. This means you're giving yourself permission to feel. You've got to feel it. You've got to allow yourself to feel it. Number 2 is grieve what you didn't receive. You have to let yourself feel that thing. You got to feel it. Okay? Step 3, how to heal from the mother wound. You need inner healing and deliverance. Step 3, inner healing and deliverance. You have to understand that true healing goes beyond coping. It uproots the pain. So that inner healing is going to address the lies, the shame, the identity wound. That's what inner healing is going to do. And then when you're talking about deliverance, deliverance is going to break the ungodly soul ties you have to your mother. Yes, some of you have soul ties with your mother. Soul ties is not just for when you have sex. Y'all got to stop. Your soul can be tied to a person, a place, or a thing. So deliverance, breaking the soul ties with your mother, breaking generational curses. Thank you for the follow on TikTok. and the spiritual oppression that came through the mother womb. This is what deliverance is going to do, okay? Salvation forgives your sin. Deliverance is going to cleanse your soul. It's going to heal your soul, okay? Step 4, you're going to have to learn how to mother yourself with compassion. Step 4, and for those of you just getting on, the replay will be on my YT channel. Step number 4, learn to mother yourself with compassion. You have to learn how to reparent yourself. Give yourself what you did not get. This may look like affirmations, self care. Y'all know I'm all about self care. Speaking to yourself with kindness, learning how to give yourself grace, not beating yourself down. I used to beat myself down so bad for every little thing, every little mistake I made. When I tell you I would tear myself down to the ground, okay? But I've learned how to give myself grace. Renisha, you did good. Renisha, you deserve this. You deserve this break. Look at all you accomplished, blah, 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 okay? So you're going to have to learn how to speak to yourself with kindness. If your mother couldn't nurture you, fine. It's not too late for you to nurture yourself. And step number 5, you're going to have to invite God into the places that your mother could not reach. Okay? Only God can fill that void that she left. He's a healer. He's a nurturer. He's a father that can mother you too. Don't forget the scripture that says, when my father and my mother forsake me, then the Lord will take me up. If you are someone who doesn't believe in God, because I know I'm drawn to all kind of people. They just come to me. You can still apply the other principles. Maybe you stop believing in God because of your mama. I don't know. You still can apply the other principles, okay? But when you let God, when you let Him sit in the gaps, the wounds start to become a testimony and not a prison. All right? So remember that healing the mother wound, it doesn't dishonor her, it honors you. It's time for you to put you first. Okay? Quick room reset. If you're just tuning in, my name is Renisha. I'm an inner healing and breakthrough coach. Today, I'm teaching on the mother wound, how to heal from the mother wound without losing your mind. All right, we're at the end of it. I'm going to give you some affirmations, some declarations to speak over yourself. But before I do, listen, I don't want you to just log off of here and go back to coping. That's not what we're going to do, okay? You have to know that healing doesn't happen by accident. It happens when you make a decision to go deeper. This is why I created the Mother Wound Recovery Suite. I had so many people who asked me since my first webinar that I did regarding this. Renisha, when are you doing another free webinar? When are you doing another? I'm not. I created a whole course for you all. 4 classes. Let me give you the breakdown of the classes. Okay. Class number 1 is called Understanding the Pain. This is where we identified the deep wounds and emotional patterns that began in your childhood. Listen closely. For class number 1, it comes with a free 15-minute session with me, video session, in order for you to unpack your assignment. So after you complete class 1, you're going to do the assignment. Then you're going to send me a message on Pinsite, which is where my products are. After you purchase a product, it's going to allow you, in TikTok, you have to DM me for the link, but it's going to allow you to message me. So all you have to do is go in, Renisha, I completed my assignment. When can you jump on a call? I need to schedule a call with you. Now listen, let me give y'all the rest of the classes and then I come back and say that. So that's class 1, okay? Class 2 is breaking the guilt and setting boundaries. So this is how you're going to learn how to say no without guilt. You're going to learn how to detach from your mother emotionally and stop letting her control you. That's what I cover in class 2. In class 3, I cover healing the inner child and breaking generational cycles. So I'm going to talk about breaking bloodline patterns and how you can begin nurturing the little girl, if you're a man that invests in this, the little boy inside of you who never felt safe. That's a whole nother, that inner child, okay? Class 3 also comes with a free 15-minute video call with me after you complete your assignment. Now, I just chose to add these 2 calls in there as a bonus for now because I'm serious about your healing. But that's not going to be there forever. I'm gonna tell y'all now because when I get listen, if my calendar is jam packed or I have all this stuff going on, I don't have time to do all these. Get it while you can, while it's available. And please don't think this is just marketing. Anybody that follows me can tell you Renisha will take a product, switch it up, increase the price just like this at the blink of an eye. So I'm telling you, these 2 15-minute sessions are available now, but I don't know when they're going away. And then class number 4, because it's 4 classes, Quanda said exactly. Class number 4, reclaiming your identity and freedom. This is where I talk about stepping outside of your mother's control, rewriting your self worth, and finally embracing your freedom in Christ. So it's 4 classes. The Mother Wound Recovery Suite. If you're on YouTube, the link is literally in this video description. If you're on TikTok, you have to DM me for the link. But like I said, get it while you can because I don't know how long these 2 free video calls are going to be included with this. Okay. Now, some of you are living in survival mode. You're coping in silence, hiding behind your wounds and your success. But that ends today. You're still waiting for your mother's validation. Let it go. It's okay. Okay. Don't scroll back into coping. Make sure you step out into healing. You can survive your mother without losing your mind. And if you are someone who has been wanting to set stronger boundaries or go no contact period, consider this your confirmation, okay? And please know that you can heal the wound that she left behind, but it is your responsibility to heal. Nobody can do this for you. I can't force you to heal. If you want to continue walking around broken, talking about this don't bother me, I'm good. Meanwhile, your significant other, your friends, all of that, you just bleeding, just spilling all over them. Your coworkers, all of that, baby, you need to heal. They're afraid to tell you because you're gonna snap on them. Me, I don't care. So we're about to close, but y'all know I have declarations for you because the power is in your tongue, okay? Repeat these declarations after me. Ready, 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 ready. Repeat after me. I declare that my identity is not defined by my mother's wounds. I am who God says I am. I declare that the cycle of dysfunction breaks with me. It will not pass to the next generation. Let me just insert this here. Everybody wants to scream about how they are the generational curse breaker, but you don't want to heal. Please tell me how that works. Anyway, repeat after me. I declare that I am free to set boundaries without guilt, and my peace is protected. Baby, sometimes my mama be talking trash about me. She be like, you always talking about you protecting your peace. And is. And is. Okay? Repeat after me. I declare that I will not just survive my mother, I will heal, thrive, and live free. All right, I'm just going to pray over you all really quick, and I am done. Again, if you got on late, the replay is on my YT channel. Thank you, TikTok, for 19.8 thousand likes. Thank you on YouTube for hitting the like button. All right. So, Father, I just thank you for the people that were on live today. I thank you for those that are catching the replay. God, I ask you to shine your light on inner wounds that they are carrying. God bless you too, Apostle Terry. Shine your light on the inner wounds that they are carrying that was caused by their toxic mothers. I pray that you help. You're welcome, Salithia. I pray that you help them bring their pain to you instead of trying to hide it. I pray that you teach them how to release the guilt of feeling like they were never enough. I pray that you teach them how to release the shame of not having the mother that they needed. I declare that cycles of dysfunction end with them. I declare that what broke them will not be passed on to their seed. It will not be passed on to the next generation. I ask that you remind them daily that they are loved. Remind them daily that they are chosen. Remind them daily that they are whole in you. I ask you to cover their minds with a peace that no manipulation can take away. Give them the courage to set boundaries and surround them with safe community as they walk out their healing. I decree and declare that it is so and shall not be otherwise in Jesus' name. Amen. If you are on TikTok and you know you need my mother wound recovery suite, send me a DM. If you are on YouTube, it is right underneath this video. All you have to do is the description. I'm sorry, I saw a comment on TikTok. The description is in the description, okay? And remember, when you finish classes 1 and class 3, send me a message, okay? Because I don't know when this is going away. As long as it's up now, I haven't included. You'll see it when you purchase it, but then it's the mother wound recovery suite is still going to be up there, but you're going to see where I removed the 2 free video calls with me. All right. I just saw an alert on TikTok, and I'm telling you, I know it's a thing because people are always commenting on one of my videos. It's either the one about 5 signs your mother is toxic, or what is it? Prayer, some kind of prayer I did for people who have toxic mothers. People are always PDF, please, PDF, please, every day, every single day. I promise y'all, no lie, every day I get some type of engagement or comment on a video regarding having a toxic mother. You are not alone. Those of you that feel guilty for even admitting that your mother wounded you, I promise you, you're not alone. All right. I have to go now. Love y'all. Bye. TikTok, I love y'all. YouTube, I love you all. Oh, I should have told TikTok. Let me see. I'm going to be back tomorrow night. I think tomorrow night, my live is at 9. Let me see what we're talking about tomorrow. 1 second. I should have told TikTok. So tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the topic is how to stop guessing yourself and finally trust your decisions. So this is where the high achieving woman that's always, or man, that's always second guessing. We're going to talk about how to finally trust the decisions that you make. That's tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will see y'all later.